Okay, I think I am live, so let's get started here. Again, today's video is about Git and version control system. So, if you are new to Git, I hope this live stream and the content we are talking about will be helpful for you. So, let's get started. This is a very basic demonstration of how to use Git. So I only have created this little folder here, and there is nothing here, totally empty. So in order to use Git, you first have to install Git, and depending on your operating system, you might wanna install that according to your OS. So for me, I am using Windows, and I have installed the Git version control system already. So if you haven't installed your version control system already, you have to go to git scm. It's gitscm.com and download Git according to your operating system, and after that you will get something like this. Let me show you. Now once you have installed that particular software, you will get a context menu when you right click, and you will get these two menus. The first is Git bash. This is a command line interface, and this interface look like this. And next what you'll get is the UI using Git through user interface. I rarely use the UI part, so I guess command line is actually more comfortable. So yeah, that's about it, the setup, and you will get something like this. Now to start with Git, we need to make sure that you are actually initializing the Git repository. So the repo, what we call is repo, is basically a collection of codes that you are gonna take snaps out of. So basically we call that repo, and to start repo we use git init. So when you use git init, you actually create a folder here, and for normal use you will never have to go inside this folder, but for advanced purposes you might have to change few things here. But in most cases you really can ignore this folder. You really don't have to use anything here. So the next thing that I want to do is open this folder in VS Code and actually write some code here, and we will see what's going on here and how Git track things. So I have opened this VS Code here, and for now we have absolutely nothing here. So let's go back to terminal and let's try some commands. But before we do, if you are still confused about what Git actually does, then Git, the main purpose of Git is to take snapshot of your code. Basically that's about it. Every time you commit your code, you create a snapshot of your code, it's like taking a photo, meaning that whatever it is that you are writing, that you are committing, that will be saved in that particular state, and you can come back and look at that particular state. So I will show what that actually means in a minute, but for now I want to show you another command, which is git status. Yeah, for now there is nothing here, I have created nothing, so basically it's showing nothing. Status means what has been happening here, so for now nothing is happening. Let me create a new file here called index.html. So the code won't be that fancy, but it will get the job done. So now let's do git status, and now you can see something here. The thing that you see here is that there is a new file which is index.php that has been created. So you can see that there is on tracked file, which means git is yet to track this file, it's not added yet. So to do that you need to add this file to your git repository. So to do that, what you can do is issue another command called git add. Git add you can do like this. You can give name of one particular file, but generally you will add almost any changes you have done, so just you add all those changes using dot. So git add dot, which means git add all. So now if you do git status again, you will see that things have changed a bit. You have added your file, and now you need to commit your changes. The commit is basically a state where you are confident that you are ready to take that snapshot in your project, let's say. So what this does is it adds the snapshot. Generally commits are done when a small milestone is reached in your code or your project. So the milestone can be very small thing. So in this case we have just created file, and you can commit that as well. So let's commit that. This is the next step. For that we will write a command called git commit, and every commit has a message associated with it. So to give that message we give -m, and we give a message here. So this message should be descriptive, and it should describe what you have done in as few words as possible, but it should be as descriptive as possible. So yeah, even writing a good comment message is a big deal in itself, I guess. So for now I will just write a very simple message like index HTML file created. Nothing fancy. So here you go. So this is the very first snapshot of your code. So let's clear this. Now git status again, and now once you have committed your code, everything gets cleaned because your codes are being saved at that particular stage. So when you start working on a project, there's gonna be a lot of commits. So to see your recent commits, you can use git log, but there is one small additional parameter you can give, which will be a bit helpful. So if you want to see last 5 commits, you just give dash 5 and you list your commits here. So this is it, you have your commits here, fairly easy. And this is a commit hash, we call it as commit hash, and that's about it. Since I have only one commit, there is only one here, so that's git log. Now let's actually write some code here. I will generate a simple HTML tag and I will just give it a title of get it going, I guess, and let's write some headers here. So yeah, we have made some changes. Now when you do git status, you can see that we have modified this particular file, we have modified HTML file. So if you are ready to commit these changes, I have added a title here, I have added page title here. So let's say I'm ready to commit these changes, some very small milestone has reached. So in that case, you can just give it a git add all command. So we add everything to git. Now check the status. Yeah, we have modified something and it needs to be committed. So you do git add and you do git commit. Okay, these are the most common commands you are gonna use. So let's commit this. So in this particular commit, we have added titles to page, I guess. That should explain the things here. So yeah, we have committed the changes. Now if you do git status, you can see that the changes have been saved and everything is back to where we can add more code. Now let's do git log and let's say 5, but now we have to commit, we have done 2 commits already, so we are saying 2. Now the most important thing is that, let's say we have done something here and you wanna see what had happened in this particular time. Okay, so what had happened in this particular time, or what was the state of your code in this particular commit. So you can kind of go back and see what was there. So this is our second commit and this is our first commit, and what you can do is you can check out to this particular commit hash and you can see what was in that particular commit. So let's check out here. To check out, you can use this commit hash. You don't have to give this whole hash thing, maybe 5-6 character would be good enough. So let's see, we can check out to 5ca1 3, that's enough. So yeah, let's see if this will work. Yeah, we have checked out to that particular branch, and if you remember, for our first commit there was nothing in index.html. so yeah, in that particular state our code was nothing, we have nothing here. But if you want to look what was there in that particular commit, this can be helpful for you. So if you want to go to the most recent one, although it's called head, so if you want to go to most recent head, you can, what you can do is git checkout master. Okay, so when you check out master, this particular code is of the latest one, you are not going back, this is the most recent code. Yeah, basically you write your code, you add that, you commit that, and that's about it. It's fairly simple, it's fairly easy, and you will use this commit and add on these two particular commands about 90% of the time. And if you know only this much, you are good to go. You can say that you have some knowledge of Git, I guess. So again, but this is not the point that just I want to end here. So I want to touch upon some branching stuff here as well. So what is Git branching and what is Git branch? Okay, let's dive into that. So Git is basically a distributed version control system. It's not centralized, meaning there is another very popular or used to be popular system called SVN, that is a centralized system because every code base lives on one particular system and every commit you do go to that repo. So but Git here, it's distributed, meaning that the same code base lives in few different places and many people are, again in SVN you can, many people can work on same thing as well, but code are stored in one particular centralized place. But in Git it's kind of distributed and many people can work on same code base. So that's distributed, and we have a concept called branch. So branch is basically a path, you can say, a path where particular work is happening. So what that particular thing means is that you are working on one particular line or one particular path, however your teammate can be working on another path. Okay, so they might be doing some front end stuff, you might be doing some back end stuff, and they will work on their own particular branch and you will work on your own branch, and finally when everything is complete you kind of merge or combine those changes, and what you do is you kind of figure out or produce a master code or a single source of truth as it's called in Git. Master branch is your kind of single source of truth. All works happen in other branches and then you combine that. Again, it's kind of confusing, so let me show you what I'm talking about and then you might have some more idea. So at this point we are in master branch. Okay, so this is the main branch, the primary branch. This is the branch where your actual code is ready for production. Again, it depends on what kind of Git flow your company or you are using, but generally we consider master as the very main branch, and it should be extremely stable. Let's say when you are developing, your code might not be stable and you might have some problem, you might have some bug. So everything you do on some other branches, and when that branch is actually stable or you think it's really good, then you merge that branch to your master branch and you deploy that code to your production, or production meaning your user will see that code, and that highly stable code lives in master branch. So yeah, and that's the kind of main concept here. So you might want to create a new branch. Let's say I want to create a form here. Again, it's silly example, but this would do it. If you want to say you want to create a login form here, then I will create a branch. So there is one small command in checkout, or sorry, not command, but there is one parameter you can pass where your checkout will create the branch, and then you actually go to that particular branch. So let me show you how that's done. You are checking out, and if no such branch exists, in this case it doesn't, so I am giving a -b, and you give it a name, check out to a new branch, and that name is, I wanna just create a login HTML form, nothing fancy. So I'll create a new branch called login form. So here you go, I have created a new branch, and if you look at the code, nothing has changed, because this login branch at this particular point is exact copy of whatever code you have in master branch. Okay, so whenever you create a branch, that branch will be a copy of this master branch. So now we can start adding our login form. So yeah, let's add some HTML very quickly. You can log in here. So let's use email, and let's create a text field here called email. And just to show what's going on, I will open this with live server so that you can see what's going on here. So yeah, this is the form I am creating here. Let me put this side by side. Okay, so we have email. Let's add a break tag here. Okay, so here you go, fairly simple, nothing fancy. I am just create a simple login form. And okay, so just to be more accurate, let's wrap everything in form. So yeah, okay, let's do some formatting. Yeah, that's about it. So let's see what we have done here. We have added some code here, but we are in our login form branch. Okay, this is very important. We are in our login form branch and we are adding some code here. Now let's see what happens when you do git status. Okay, so we have modified index.html. Let's add those changes. Let's commit our changes, and what we have done is login form added. So that's basically the change we have done. So here you go, we are in our login form branch. Now look at this very carefully. Our code resides in login form branch, but our master branch does not have this login form yet, because we have created this code in login form branch. Okay, so if you check out to master branch, you can see that we have nothing here. We have no login form here, and it's basically empty, the one we have already started. And you can see that there is no form here. And don't worry, your code is on another branch, so unless you delete that branch, you are already in that, your code is safe in that particular branch, but not in your master branch. So let's again check out to login form branch, and you can see that our code is still here. So whatever changes you want to do, you can do it here. And once you feel that you are ready to take these changes to your master branch, and you are ready to make your code a single source of truth and ready to deploy, then you actually merge this code to your master branch. And now there is another concept that I have just started to give you, that is called merge. What merge basically does is that it combines code from one branch to another branch in a very simple term. Merge is basically that's about it. It will change whatever code you have committed in another branch to that branch. So let's see how that can be done. Let's say you check out to your master branch, done. And if you remember, we don't have any CSS styling here, so you feel that you need to add something here. So okay, I think I'll copy this link tag here, and you can add your CDN here. So at this moment I am using Bootstrap, and you can see that our font has changed a bit, so Bootstrap is working. And we have done some changes in master branch. So again, there you can have many people working on many branches simultaneously. At this point I am working in two different branches. In master branch I have added our Bootstrap code, and in our login form branch I have added our login form code. So there might be other developers working on some other features in some other branches, and ultimately everything will be merged and it will become one source of truth. So for now let's commit this, before that, let's add this, and let's commit this. And what we can do is give it a descriptive commit message, added bootstrap css cdn, let's say. Okay, now we are done. Now everything is okay. Now the merging is very simple. All you have to do is issue one command, and that will be it. So let's say you want to merge one branch. Again, before that, if you want to list out all your branches, you can give git branch command, and it will list how many branches are there in that particular case. So in our case, we have two branches. We are in master branch indicated by this asterisk here, and we have another branch called login form. Let's merge this particular branch here. So let's go git merge. Very simple. Merging is very simple, but if you have merge conflict, then you will go straight into a very hellish place. Sometime resolving merge conflict can be a big pain in the dash. Okay, so I hope you are getting my point. So let's hope that there won't be any merge conflict here. Maybe I should have created some conflict. Let's see what happens. Git merge, and we are merging login form. Okay, so again you can use tab to autocomplete. So our branch is login, so log, hit tab and you will get some kind of autocomplete. So okay, we have just merged our code, and you will get this particular message. And again, if you are new to Git, even getting around this particular text editor will be very confusing. Now whenever you merge, you will have to give a merge message. So to do that, you will see this kind of editor. Now press I for insert and come down here and give it a merge message. So the message can be merged login HTML branch to master. I guess this will be descriptive. Now press escape, give colon and WQ, which means write and quit. Here you go. If you are confused about where it is here. So colon, write and quit, hit enter, and you have merged your code. Now you are in master branch, and when you look at the code, you can see that your new code, the login form you have written here, is already present, and you can see that everything is looking kind of nice with Bootstrap. So yeah, now next thing what you want to do is, let's say you want to add some style here. You can go to your login branch and add more styles. Let's say check out login form. Okay, right now you can see that we don't have Bootstrap here because our code base actually does not have that particular code in master. So if you want to bring those changes here, what you can do it is you can merge master here as well. So here you go, you have whatever code is in the master in your particular branch, and I already got those changes here. So yeah, it can be done both ways, but generally it's one way. You work on our branch and then you merge to your master branch. anyways. So let's work on this form for a little bit just to show. So if you add form control, you will get this nice sort of input message. So yeah, let's do the same for this one. Okay, let's commit this, sorry, let's add these changes, let's give it a message, added class to input. So there you go, you have your commit message. Now let's check out to master. Okay, so we are in master branch, and you can see that our added classes are not here. So again we need to merge our branch, but before that I want to do something in master branch here. So let's say another developer just came in and did some changes in our master branch. So he added some form group class and he moved this code here. Again I am trying to generate some merge conflict here. Let's see, form group, there you go. Okay, and yeah, I guess this will be it. Again I think this will be okay. Let's do status check. Let's add this, and okay, so here we go. Now what I want to do is bring changes I have done to our login branch to master branch. Let's try to merge this, git merge login form, I think. Okay, now we have a problem. In last merge we didn't have any of this problem, but right now we have a problem, and this problem is called merge conflict, and you get this message automatic merge failed, and you need to fix this conflict manually. So git try to combine your code automatically, but it was unable to do so. So you get this little message here. So you are in master branch and you are merging, there are some code conflict here. Now the resolution of merge conflict is one of the most dreaded thing developer can do. It's messy and it introduces bug and whatnot, so yeah, it's a mess. So now we have seen some total changes here. Okay, so whenever there is a merge conflict you will see something like this. Okay, and git is showing that I cannot complete this merge because we have some problem here. So I am using VS Code. VS Code shows our merge conflict like that. Some other text editor might do something else. So yeah, it depends on how text editor handle those things. So at this point you have to look at the code and compare stuffs. So first thing what you have to do is look at the code and be very careful about what needs to be added and what needs to change or be removed. So in this case, if there is a merge conflict, you might want to consult another developer who actually worked on that particular changes, or you or both of you might have to sit down and kind of pick the changes that will work. So in this case we have few options here. So you can accept current changes, you can accept incoming changes, meaning the changes coming from that branch. You can accept both changes, or you can compare them, or you kind of manually see what's going on and you change those stuff. So if I do accept both changes, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think we kind of screwed up there because we are getting two forms, and let's undo that. If we accept current changes, then the changes coming from that other branch will not be reflected, so we don't have that option. Sometimes it might be that particular option, but in our case it's not. So maybe you can compare changes and let's see what actually happened. So here you will get even clearer picture of what's going on. So it looks like we have this particular div added here, but in other case we have this class form control and break remove. So again, you might have a consult with whoever has done those changes, and you kind of change with consultation with another developer. So yeah, I think we have this particular div added here, but it's not there. But we don't have that class here. Same with this other line. So yeah, I think we have some basic picture here. Let's close this and let's make changes. Let's accept both for now. Okay, let's save this. We have this div here, email and password with form group. We have same here, but only changes is that you have to add this particular class here. So yeah, maybe doing this will make everything kind of work, and I don't need this now, so let's remove that. Let's save this, and yes, I think this is working. Now if you want to do some changes, let's add some nice style to this button. Okay, so yeah, this is it, I guess. So once you have done with mods, let's check out status. You add that and you commit your changes. Login form completed. For now it's completed for me. Yeah, so that's about it. Now if you do git log and let's see 5 changes. Now you can see that there are quite a few log messages here, recent one being this one, and this one, and this one the commit from that other branch has come here. So yeah, you can see that there are few log messages here, and again you can check out to this particular commits and see what's going on at that particular point. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. I think this video has gone long enough, and yeah, I hope you have learned something here. And if you tried this particular thing parallelly with me, maybe you got some conflict, and maybe you learned something here. Okay, so this is it for today. I hope you have learned something, and if you have any kind of question, leave on the comment section below, and I'll try to do another live stream explaining any of your questions and things like that. Again, what I have done here is very basic Git stuff which you will do 90% of the time, and this is it. You will not use any other Git commands except this one, create branch, merge branch, and things like that. So yeah, if you know these things, you are good to go. Okay then, bye bye, and I'll see you in another video.